Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to my fourth read aloud. We are continuing Miss Suki is Kooky. Don't worry, Miss Suki said. Rappy won't hurt a fly. Emily pulled out her little mirror to fix her hair one last time. Okay, said the photographer. Is everybody ready? Say cheese. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Rappy must have seen his reflection in Emily's mirror, because the next thing we knew, he flew off of Miss Suki's finger at 200 miles an hour, and he was heading straight for Emily. Chapter 11, Just a Minor Problem. Emily was looking in her mirror, and she didn't see Rappy flying at her. Watch out! Everybody screamed, but it was too late. Rappy rammed right into Emily. She fell off the bleachers, and she was freaking out. Eek! She said. The raptor attacked me! Rappy freaked out too. He took off, went flying crazily around the gym. Everybody started screaming, covering their heads. The raptor is loose, shouted Ryan. We need a doctor, shouted the photographer. How about Dr. Seuss, I suggested. Emily, go to Miss Cooney's office, shouted Miss Daisy. Now! Rappy was swooping around like he was out of his mind. Emily was crying, and for once I couldn't blame her. I'd cry too if some nutty raptor attacked me. She crawled out of the gym on her hands and knees so Rappy couldn't dive bomb her. He's wild, shouted Michael. He'll use his razor-sharp talons and beak to tear into her flesh. He's just frightened, shouted Miss Suki. Rappy wouldn't hurt a fly. He hurt Emily, yelled Andrea. Don't provoke him, Miss Suki yelled, even though none of us knew what that word meant. Well, maybe Andrea did. Call Miss Lazar, shouted Miss Daisy. Mrs. Lazar is the school's custodian, and she could solve any problem. She must have been right down the hall, because a second later she burst into the gym. She was holding a toilet bowl plunger. We have a wild raptor on our hands, Miss Daisy said. Do you want me to kill it? Asked Miss Lazar. She got into the batting stance like she was going to hit Rappy with the toilet bowl plunger. No, yelled Miss Suki. He's endangered. I have an idea, said Mrs. Lazar. I could build a cage out of toilet bowl plungers and we could trap him inside. He'll never escape. Mrs. Lazar is bizarre. She had a museum filled with toilet bowl plungers like her secret storage room down in the basement. Mr. Klutz came running into the gym with his bald head. What seems to be the problem, he said. The raptor attacked Emily, Miss Daisy said. Everybody calm down, said Mr. Klutz. I'll take care of this. I know how to handle animals. In my younger days, I used to work in a zoo. Please don't hurt Rappy, begged Miss Suki. He's my baby. Leave it to me, said Mr. Klutz. Where is he? Up there, we all shouted. Mr. Klutz looked up and he saw Rappy flying around near the ceiling. He screamed. Quick! He yelled. Get me a towel! Are you going to trap the raptor in a towel, Miss Daisy asked, running into the locker room to get one. No, said Mr. Klutz. I'm going to wrap the towel around my head so the raptor doesn't peck me. That was smart. After all, Mr. Klutz's bald head is so shiny. Mr. Rappy might see his reflection and attack. Miss Daisy came running back with the towel. Mr. Klutz wrapped it around his bald head. Then our gym teacher, Mrs. Small, came racing in. She was carrying a catcher's mitt, chest protector, and shin guards. Here, she said, put these on. Good ideas, Mr. Klutz said. After he put the stuff on, he looked like a real catcher. That is, if catchers wore towels on their heads. How will you get the raptor down from the ceiling? Asked Miss Small. Hand me that mirror, ordered Mr. Klutz. I'll put it in the mitt. The raptor will see his reflection in the mirror and think it's his enemy. Then he'll fly right into the mitt, and I'll catch him. Boy, Mr. Klutz should get the Nobel Prize for this genius idea. If he was a kid, he would be in the gifted and talented program for sure. Mrs. Small picked up Emily's mirror and gave it to Mr. Klutz. What if Rappy misses? The mitt, asked Andrea. Raptors have 4-inch razor-sharp talons they can use tear into flesh and could kill a lion. Mr. Klutz grabbed Mrs. Suki's blueberry award and held it in front of him like a shield. "This will protect me," he said. At that moment, guess who ran through the door? Nobody, because running through a door would hurt. But guess who ran through the doorway? It was Dr. Carble, the president of the school board. Chapter 12. Author's visits are fun. "Sorry I missed the assembly," he said. "What's going on, Mr. Klutz?" "Why are you dressed in that weird costume? Why is every time I visit this school there's a disturbance?" "No reason to be alarmed, sir," said Mr. Klutz. "Just a minor problem with a raptor." "A raptor!" exclaimed Dr. Carble. "Didn't one of them rip some guy's head off in Jurassic Park?" "Be careful," begged Miss Suki. "He's my baby." "You gave birth to a raptor?" asked Dr. Carble. Just then, Rappy came down from the ceiling, started swooping around the gym again. Everybody was ducking and screaming. "Stand by," shouted Mr. Klutz as he waved the catcher's mitt around to attract Rappy's attention. "Come on, Rappy. Be a good boy. Come to Papa." And I think Mr. Klutz was waving the catcher's mitt around a little too fast, because when he was waving it, Emily's mirror fell out. It hit the floor, broke into a million little pieces. "Oh no!" everybody yelled. Mr. Klutz looked at Miss Suki. Miss Suki looked at Miss Daisy. Miss Daisy looked at Miss Rupee. Miss Rupee looked at the photographer, and everybody was looking at everybody else. Suddenly, Rappy went really crazy and started flying even faster around the gym. And then he must have spotted the shiny letters on the Blueberry Award, because his dive bombed straight towards Mr. Klutz. Mr. Klutz didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to do. He had to think fast. Just before Rappy would have rammed into him, Mr. Klutz held up the Blueberry Award. Wham! Rappy slammed right into it, broke it in two. Ooh, that had to hurt. Rappy got it right on his kisser. It was awesome, a real Kodak moment. Luckily, the photographer was snapping pictures the whole time. "Hooray for Mr. Klutz!" we all shouted. Everybody was cheering. Well, everybody except for Miss Suki, who was on her knees sobbing. Rappy didn't look too happy either. In fact, it looked like he might be dead. And he was on the floor with his legs in the air twitching. "Is this what Mr. Klutz meant by killing two birds with one stone?" Ryan said. "He's dead!" Miss Suki cried. "You killed my baby!" "He's not dead," Mr. Klutz assured her. "He's just resting." "Does this mean that Rappy's still endangered?" asked Michael. "Or is he extinct now?" "I don't know," I said. He smells fine to me." "You're a bunch of monsters," Miss Suki shouted as she scooped Rappy off the floor. "This is the worst day of my life." Then she ran out of the gym crying. She didn't even take the shattered pieces of her Blueberry Award with her. "Does this mean you won't be signing any more autographs?" I asked Miss Suki. But I don't think she heard me. She was long gone. All in all, I thought Miss Suki's visit was really cool, especially when Rappy went berserk and attacked Emily. I mean, we got to meet a famous author. We got to see Mr. Klutz dress up like a catcher with a towel around his head. But best of all, we got to miss math. I was thinking about it. Miss Suki won the Blueberry Award by writing a book about a raptor that flew into a window and nearly died. Then she came to the same raptor flew into the Blueberry Award and nearly died. I guess the moral of the story is that you should never bring a raptor to school or a Blueberry Award. Maybe Miss Suki will be able to nurse Rappy back to health again. Maybe Miss Cooney will be able to nurse Emily back to health again. Maybe Mrs. Lazar will be able to fix the Blueberry Award. Maybe Emily and Andrea will stop looking at themselves in the mirror all the time, because you never know when you might be attacked by a crazed raptor. Maybe we'll be able to talk Mr. Klutz into inviting another author to our school next year, but it won't be easy. The end.